First hard fact of the day, 2,839 new confirmed COVID cases over the weekend. That's not as big as the last 2 weekends, but it's still a very big number. Plus, on Saturday alone, Lagos had 1,040 cases. So this was still a tough weekend for us here in Lagos. So I'm appealing to all 970,000 of you. Please be careful out there. Limit your movement to the essential things. Wear a mask when you do have to go out. Keep your distance where possible. Wash and sanitize your hands as often as possible. And you don't have to go outside to get your hard facts. I'll bring them to you wherever you are, starting with the big weekend. Let's talk about Lagos State government building another oxygen plant in Bagada and donating 150 million naira to Luz. Then let's talk about the presidency pleading with Nigerians to obey the COVID guidelines if we want to avoid another lockdown. Then let's talk about a surgeon at a Lagos hospital testifying to treating gunshot victims after the Lekki Tollgate shootings. And then we're going to talk about the army ignoring summons from the Lagos panel. Chukudi will focus on security today on Checkpoint about a clash happening between two gangs right here in Lagos. On the Big Hard Fact, we'll talk about how Lagos handled the second wave of COVID-19 in January. I'll be joined by Dr. Rolua Fini. She's the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Sanwo-Olu on health. Now, news updates are coming your way at the top of every hour, but you need to listen to every minute of this show so that you can win on just a minute. But let's get started with today's big weekend. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
The big weekend.
Are Nigerians prepared to follow the COVID-19 guidelines? Has Reddington Hospital contradicted the Army's testimony about the Lekki shootings? Will the Army return to the Lagos panel? It was a big weekend, Lagos. Let's talk about it. In COVID, it was especially big here in Lagos. Governor Sanwo-Olu said that the state government is building another oxygen plant, this time at Bagada General Hospital. I've told you many times that the country is having problems keeping up with oxygen demand from hospitalized COVID patients. So Lagos is building yet another plant to ease the situation. And apart from building its own facilities, the state government is helping the federal government with theirs. Lagos is donating 150 million naira to Luz and 50 million naira to Federal Medical Center Butemeta. The money is to help them run their COVID facilities, their COVID-19 facilities. Also, civil servants in the state won't go back to the office until the 26th of this month. Remember, they were originally meant to return today, but now the governor has said that to help fight COVID, they should stay home longer. And for the rest of us, the government is telling us to be more careful. In fact, they've banned all indoor gatherings of more than 50 people. So now it doesn't matter whether masks are on or masks are off, or if you're staying 2 meters apart. As long as you are more than 50 people, you cannot be gathered indoors. The presidency also says it doesn't want another lockdown, so Nigerians should please obey the COVID guidelines so that we won't need another lockdown. Here's what Garba Shehu said. Garba Shehu is the president's senior special assistant on media. He said, quote, "The Buhari administration is most reluctant to lock down the country and continues to emphasize the non-pharmaceutical measures. And the only way to avert lockdowns is to observe these measures as put in place by the presidential task force," end quote. Now, the presidency has said this before, late last month. And the fact that they're repeating it may mean that they think the situation is getting serious enough for a lockdown. I mean, we saw more cases in January than in 10 months combined. You know, we saw more cases in January than in like November, for instance. So it's ridiculous what's going on. But hey, what do you think about the steps that the state government is taking? By the way, at 5 o'clock, we're going to be talking to the governor's SSA on health about how the state performed against COVID last month. But I'm curious what you think about the federal government asking Nigerians to obey COVID-19 guidelines to avoid another lockdown. Are Nigerians prepared to do it, to follow it? 0700-993-993-993. 0700-993-993-993. Since President Buhari announced that if you don't wear a mask, you're going to go to jail for 6 months or fined, have you seen more people wearing masks? Are more and more people where you are obeying the guidelines? What do you think about the federal government asking Nigerians to obey COVID guidelines to avoid another lockdown? Bayo is on the line. Bayo is in Egbeda today. Hi, Bayo. Thanks for calling us. Hello, Bayo.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. You're live on the show now. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. I couldn't hear. Hello. Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah. I think it is a web.
Oh, no. Sorry about that. Call back if you can, Bayo. We've got Joseph in Yannick Bacha on the line. Hello, Joseph.
Yeah. So I'm coming from Yannick.
Yes, welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. Nobody's wearing face mask here.
Are you wearing face mask there? Hello?
Even at Ilego, I haven't seen anybody put on face mask at Ilego here. So people are just going about their business without wearing face mask.
Okay. Are you wearing face mask? Are you the only one wearing it there?
There are few people, they will just hang it around their chin. Yeah, so that's what I noticed.
Okay, Joseph. Thank you for calling me to tell me what you noticed. What do you think about the steps that the Lagos state government is taking? And what do you think about the federal government asking Nigerians to obey COVID guidelines to avoid another lockdown? 0700-993-993. You can also tweet at us at Nigeria Info FM, and you can definitely share your thoughts via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 080-959-75805. Timothy is on the line. Timothy, thank you for calling us. Hi, Timothy. Hi, thanks for calling, Timothy.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're live on the show. Go ahead.
Yeah. I want to comment about the federal government guidelines concerning the COVID-19.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yes, it is important that we should understand that we have the number of cases we have in the last month, that is the month of January, has been so ridiculous. And you can imagine that I entered the bus today going to VI. More than 14 to 16 people in the bus. We were just 3 putting on our masks.
Wow.
So I asked myself, if we continue this way, when are we going to be feeling this bondage of COVID-19? This thing is affecting the whole country. So everybody should take it serious. We need to put it on ourselves in order to control it. Because we are not kids anymore. In this kind of situation we find ourselves, and we are still feeling so reluctant to do what we are supposed to do. What that will help our lives, even in the lives of our children. Because some of us, we are parents. What if you died as a result of disobeying the guidelines of COVID-19? Who will take care of your children? These are the things that we should think of and put those things as priority in our life for now, at least. Because this is not a lifetime. It's something that comes and it will surely go away. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Timothy, thank you very much for calling me. I have another Timothy on the line. This one is in Ogun State. Timothy, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Talking about the COVID, the compliance level is, as far as we are concerned here in Igbesa, as this year, there is no cooperation at all. They are not cooperating. In fact, anybody wearing it, they look at the person as if you are the COVID carrier.
Ah, wow.
That's the truth. Then talking about the compliance level, I think the government is trying. They have really tried in terms of sensitization.
Okay.
But at the same time, they need to do more. I was in Benin a few days ago. I noticed that it's not been like that. I'm a regular visitor to Benin.
Okay.
I've never seen what I saw that day. When I got to Benin, I saw everybody putting on face masks. Everybody.
Oh, wow.
Almost, even if those that were not wearing it properly, they hung it on their jaw.
So what's happening in Benin that's not happening in Ogun?
No. When I asked, why is it that everybody is wearing this thing? They said, if you are caught, they will take you to the military barracks or the Ministry of Works, and they will hand over a cutlass to you. They will make you work for 3 hours. Yes.
I think we should do that in Lagos.
Yes, I suggest that because the compliance level in Benin is so high. You can call anybody to confirm this.
Oh, wow. So is this an initiative from the state government?
They said that's the initiative. In fact, when I was driving, the moment I entered Benin, I noticed it. The person that was with me, I asked, he was not putting his own on in the car. I wore my own. But as soon as we entered the town, he told the person at the back, please wear your own. No, we don't enter Benin. No. I do afraid. He said, yeah, he said because they will stop us now and they will tell him to come down. They will give him, hand over a cutlass to him, and he will work for 3 hours. And after that, he will pay 10,000 naira.
Wow. Wow, Timothy, thank you for calling and sharing that with us. Yinaya is in Victoria Island. Hello, Yinaya.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, I want to comment on this concerning face mask. Honestly, we Nigerians, we are not taking this face mask issue serious.
Okay.
Because, I always be in the Akwambo market here. If you go there, a lot of people doesn't put on their face mask. People you will see inside market there, they will hang it around their check. You know, and I move around. I'm a driver. I drive Lagos State around.
Okay.
When you look at the long buses, the new long buses, why can't government, put it mandatory? Before you're purchasing your ticket to enter the bus, at least let's show by example by those transport buses. Before you enter the bus, you must wear your face mask and put it on your face and nose, not hanging it. But when you look at the Lagos State, the bus, commercial buses, a lot of people inside the bus with AC. And there is different people from different families journeying together in the bus. They don't wear face masks. So, if those people entering all this downfall and whatever, they are looking into all this, at least those who are organized transport system. They are not even, let them put the policy first. By so doing, people seeing those people in those long buses, we putting on their face masks. By so doing, all these yellow buses and the other commercial vehicles, they will join in. At least let us take it serious. The thing they pay me, even when I'm driving, as I'm driving alone inside my car, I put on my face mask without people here and there. But some people will be looking, even in traffic, they will be looking at me.
Don't mind them. You're saving your own life. Now them sabi waiting you look.
They will start looking at me as if to say, this guy is alone on the vehicle. He's putting his face mask. So we are not taking it serious. Let us change our mindset. Thank you. That's my.
Thank you very much for calling me. My last call is Michael. Michael Nebuleba. Hello, Michael.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I believe it's a welcome. It's a welcome development anyway. But I don't think our leaders are showing example of it. For example, I think Bashir Ahmed, or what's his name?
Yeah.
Went for a wedding
over the weekend. Yeah.
Yes, and he's not putting a fixed mark. So, what kind of example is it giving to people that are looking up to him? Not even Nigeria entirely. So, I believe they should lay examples.
Okay, all right. Lead by example, he says. Reddington Hospital treated so many gunshot victims and other injured people on the night of the Lekki shootings that the hospital got overwhelmed. That was the testimony of one of the hospital's surgeons at the Lagos NSAS panel this weekend. The panel is also investigating the Lekki shootings. And so this weekend, Dr. Babajide Lawson was called to testify. Remember, the state governor had said that only a couple of people had died and that they died from, and one of them died from a blunt force trauma, not bullet. Also remember that the army said that they did not fire live ammunition that night. And remember that they have called all media reports that said that they shot live rounds lies. Well, now we have a doctor from the hospital saying that they saw bullets inside patients. He said he personally treated 6 patients on that night, but his colleagues treated others. He said that the hospital could not keep accurate records of all the cases because of the sheer number. They were overwhelmed. He said even some surviving patients still have bullets inside them. So that's the sworn testimony of a doctor at the hospital. He talked about the hospital being overwhelmed by the number of casualties on that day. And for the next couple of days, we have a woman who was sharing her story on social media, and she said that she went into labor on that day, on the 20th. She was supposed to have her child, but she couldn't do it at the hospital because the hospital doctors were overwhelmed taking care of the emergency that was coming into the hospital from October 20th. So she had to go to a different hospital to go do her business. Now, I must again make you recall that the army previously said that it wasn't at the toll gate. And then the army said it was there but did not shoot. Then the army said it shot but only blanks. Then the army said it had live rounds, but the live rounds were just there to protect their soldiers and that they didn't use them. But now we have a surgeon talking about seeing pellets inside victims. Remember, of course, that blanks do not fire pellets, in case you didn't know that. Blank bullet does not fire pellet. They cannot leave pellets inside people. So that's the latest from the panel. There's more coming your way, but let's talk about this one first. What do you think about this testimony from the surgeon at Reddington Hospital? 0700-993-993-993. 0700-993-993. 993. You can also share your thoughts with me via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. And yes, you can still talk to me about the COVID-19 response from the weekend. I told you Governor Sanwo-Olu said the state government is building another oxygen plant at Bagada General Hospital. They've also donated 150 million naira to Luth and 50 million naira to the medical center, the Federal Medical Center at Ebute Metta. And then they also told civil servants to not go back to the office until the 26th of this month. And I also told you that the presidency says that they don't want another lockdown, so they're begging Nigerians to obey the guidelines. So yes, you can talk about that first story, but also lend your voice to this particular one, this testimony from a surgeon at the Lekki panel of inquiry. Bayo is calling us back. Hello, Bayo. Thanks for calling. Hello, Bayo.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
President Sandra.
Yes, please. Welcome.
Okay. Yeah, sorry for the other time.
It's okay. Turn your radio off and then let's go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry about that.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay, well. First of all, but I think I like the call. I like that peaceful and friendly call from the federal government. I mean, appealing to us. Definitely, I think it's a welcome development. And also, I'm using these mediums. I want to use these mediums to call on everybody. Let's just take it as our PP, as our personal protective safety and guidelines. So, of course, it's just for us anyway. But like the other caller has said, it's quite sad. I don't know. Maybe we need to indulge the services of all these market leaders and market enforcers. Because sincerely, I told you that I was at Ladipo on Friday, and I put all my nose marks and all that. Did it mean sincerely? Because I see it was only me using it. The whole of that Ladipo or that particular premises I have. So, this kind of things is not too good. Then also concerning the military, whatever. Fine, the truth is coming. But to me, I've already given up on that. I'm not sure there could be anything meaningful as far as I'm concerned concerning the right justice to be served to Nigerian Nigerian army, so to say sincerely. Though it's quite unfortunate, but at least let us establish that truth, okay? But in as much as that, I think it's equally good that, the case is on, and because of the litigations, I believe reasons why Lekki Tollgate are still being put on note. So everybody is having free flow. I think I'm beneficiary have passed through that place now for like 6 to 7 times now without anybody paying, no traffic and all that. So let's continue dragging it, till whatever time, and let everybody be free.
All right, Bayo, thank you for calling. Andrew is in Aja. Hello, Andrew.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. First off, I actually didn't know that this case was still even on. I thought that because it looks like we have all moved on from the Lekki massacre, even though some people are actually arguing that because a lot of persons were not killed, it shouldn't be called a massacre, that a lot of persons didn't die. Having said that, the truth is coming out. But Sandra, my question is this. If after everything, the Nigerian government and the military are found guilty, what happens? What happens? Because now, I think the chief of army that was there before has retired. Can he still be charged after he has been retired? What happens to the federal government? What happens to Lagos State government? What happens to Jide Sanwo-Olu? These are the questions that should be asked, because evidently it's looking like, in fact, it's not looking like, it is confirmed as it is right now that they are guilty of the crime, of killing, of the massacre. I'll still use that word. Even if it is 2 people or 3 people that died, it's still called a massacre. So, what will happen to this set of people that I've just mentioned? Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for calling. Unfortunately, I don't have the answers to that question, but I do have Olumuyiwa on the line, so let's move on to Olumuyiwa. Olumuyiwa is in Aja today. Olumuyiwa, welcome to the show. Okay, we don't have that connection yet. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. We have Olumuyiwa now. Hello, Olumuyiwa.
Yeah, Sandra.
Thanks for calling.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
You've got 40 seconds.
Okay. Let me use 40 seconds to tell Joyce that she was born on February 6th. I was born on February 5th.
Okay.
Now, where is Lai Mohammed in all this? Because anything we say, any video we show is the first way that I say is fake news. Even CNN, fake news. BBC, fake news. Where is Lai Mohammed in all this? People say we should forget it. We should forget those that they have killed, those that they have amputated their legs, those that they have cut off their hand. We should forget and move on. That is why I said it, that Nigeria does not worth dying for. If we die for Nigeria yesterday, today they have forgotten you and they move on. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Olumuyiwa. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. Osas, unfortunately, you're going to have to call back because we're taking a break right now. We will be back, though, and then we'll take more of your calls.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
Introducing the new Hollandia Slim Evaporated Milk. Hollandia Slim Evaporated Milk has all the nourishment of milk with 50% less fat. It is evaporated milk that contains high calcium, 7B vitamins, vitamin D3, phosphorus, and magnesium. It comes in 3 pack sizes, and the 60-gram pack is 50 naira only.
Hollandia Slim Evaporated Milk. All the nourishment of milk, 50% less fat.
You get to win money. You get to win 10,000 naira cash on the Just a Minute game show. Call into any of our shows: The Morning Crossfire, What's Up Lagos, The Sunny Side, and Hard Fact. Answer as many questions as possible in 60 seconds, and you stand a chance to win 10,000 naira. Winner will be announced on Hard Fact. Just a Minute, the game show for everyone, right here on your number 1 station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Powered by Creditville. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I still might have Osas on the line. Is he still there? No, he's not. All right, then. Lagos, you're listening to Sandra Ezekwesili on Hard Facts. And this is Nigeria Info 99.3. Before the break, I told you that Reddington Hospital treated so many gunshot victims and other injured people on the night of the Lekki shootings and that the hospital got overwhelmed. This was the testimony of one of the hospital surgeons at the Lagos NSAS panel this weekend. The panel is investigating Lekki shootings. So this weekend, Dr. Babajide Lawson was called to testify. He runs the trauma room or the trauma ward or the trauma section of the hospital. And he said that they were overwhelmed by a lot of gunshot victims. You have to remember, of course, that the army said that they did not fire live ammunition that night. You also have to remember that they called all media reports that said that they shot live rounds lies. And you also have to remember that the state governor said only a couple of people died and that they died from blunt force trauma. Now, before the break, Andrew was asking me a number of questions, and I did say that I didn't have the answers. But what the lawyers have said repeatedly is that the panel can only recommend prosecution. So the panel can recommend prosecution, but it's up to the government to decide to go ahead with prosecution. And yes, even though Buratai has retired, he can still be charged, even though he has retired. So it's up to the state prosecutors or federal prosecutors to take action. And the reason you thought that the panel wasn't working anymore is because they were on recess for a long time. But they're back now. Sam in Satellite Town, hello.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Mr. Sam speaking from Satellite.
Yes, please, welcome.
Sandra, I know every people for your job and even Joyce. You see, some people, I don't know if it's out.
You don't know if it's what?
Hatred for government or whatever. Some people were even questioning Sandra Joyce today that why is he, propagating this on behalf of government as if it's the government herself. Like you are saying, you were asking one person, what is his, whether he was wearing the mask. He was dodging it. You asked the question twice. And these are the people complaining. You say you are in a place, people are not wearing. They ask you whether you were wearing. He was dodging it. And yet, he wants to blame government. Everybody pointing finger. And yet, the one we have to do, we don't do it. I pity also. But people are doing well.
Sam, thank you very much for calling. Osas is on 3rd Mainland Bridge. Osas, welcome.
I have to call from anywhere or Sandra, any which way I will.
Welcome.
But I'm not inside the water. I'm on the bridge. How was your weekend, Sandra?
It was good. How was yours?
Very well, thank you.
All right, welcome. Go ahead.
Sandra, first of the thing is this. It was, I don't know. The argument about this Lekki shooting doesn't hold any water at all. You all saw it. I called it some time ago about this same matter.
Yeah.
That the Chinese man was holding bullets, live bullet with it. People were holding the phone touch. So like he needed to for us to get the vision very clear. I don't know if you understand me.
I understand.
I watched it live.
Yeah.
Even that morning after the shooting, they didn't allow this Arise News to pass through the toll gate.
Yeah.
The Arab people, they were furious. They were angry. Like, what is happening? At least their press were allowed to go there. The soldiers were marching, they couldn't go there.
Yeah.
We watch all these things. I'm sure they were still clearing things that period. They were trying to sweep everywhere to make sure everything was clear. People, Nigerians should know this, right? If in other countries where things are working, let it take 100 years. Let's try to always get justice for things like this. No matter how long it takes. You cannot waste people's lives like that and come out. Even the governor from everybody, from the chief of army, everybody saying that nobody was killed, there is only 2 people on one. Elected people have person that died. It's a crime against God and against humanity. Because these people, they were harmless. They didn't go out to shoot or to kill anybody. They went for protest. In the case of coronavirus, this thing. If Papa were there for us, they thought, hey, you push everybody must wash hands before they eat, and he not wash hands. So the people will look and say, what did Papa even they thought said? So that's the case of coronavirus. Our leader, I'm not saying it's good the way of face man, but let them lead by example. For the president to the last person, they should lead by example, no matter who you are. Learn to lead by example. But please, people should learn to lead by example. And then Benin issues, what happened in Benin, the deputy governor, right? I watched the video. He was driving out one day. He had to stop a vehicle. Somebody was not very the face, and he himself, he made sure he implemented that law that as in life. The person came down, told the police to arrest the person, and he went to go and clear one of the army barracks. Yes, the deputy governor did that by himself. So me, I'm from Edo State. I got the video from my friend. They recorded it along Airport Road. So the person was deputy governor implemented that law by himself. If they want to implement it, they know what to do.
Osas, thank you very much for calling us. If you just joined the show, you're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We've talked about the Lagos state government building another oxygen plant in Bagada and donating 150 million naira to Luth. We've also talked about the federal government begging people to comply so that we don't lock down again. And we've talked just now about a surgeon at a Lagos hospital testifying to treating gunshot victims after the Lekki Tollgate shootings. Now, I have a message on Twitter from Adams Edema. Adams says, "Oh, really? Where is journalist Rotimi? He should call and attack this claim from the hospital now. He was always calling days after the shooting, saying nothing happened, which was live streamed. No? Or has his credit finished?" Adams, thank you for your tweet. Boy Muffin says, "Hello, Sandra. The answer to the question to the question of what is next is simple. Whether they prosecute or not, we vote them out. So if found guilty, vote them out. Nigeria receive sense in Jesus' name. Amen." All right, Boy Muffin, thank you for your message. And the boy says, "Sandra, thank God we have a doctor coming out to say this, but I'm sure he will change his confession very soon, and I'll advise him to leave this country as soon as possible." Well, there was no shooting, no live bullet, Nabanga only. Oh, Nabanga only. Oh, I see what you mean. Ndubese, thank you for your message. Kende says, "Can the government prosecute itself if found guilty by the panel of inquiries?" Well, it's let me actually even tell you one more thing that has happened as a result of Dr. Lawson's statement. Since his statement seems to contradict the Army's testimony, you would expect the Army's lawyers to cross-examine him, right? But that's not what happened, and that's not going to happen, probably, because the Army has allegedly disbanded their legal team and they've stopped answering the summons of the panel. We heard from Samuel Agwe. He is a spokesperson for Kehinde Akinlolu, who before now was heading the Army's legal team. And he said, quote, "That team representing the Army, led by Kehinde, based on the summons issued by the panel, that the team has been disbanded by the Nigerian Army on the 21st of November, end quote. But not only has the Army released its legal team, we heard from the panel itself that the Army has stopped picking their call. The panel chairperson, retired Justice Doris Okuobi, said, quote, "All other petitions affecting the Nigerian Army where which complaints have been made against them have been forwarded to the Chief of Army Staff with summons. The summons for them to appear. If they fail to appear, there's nothing the panel can do with that," end quote. What do you think about that? Justice Okunobi is raising an important point. The panel has no power to compel the Nigerian Army to comply with the summons. So that leads to a question. What happens if the Army simply decides to ignore the panel going forward? On the other hand, some observers are saying that maybe this isn't a case of Army choosing to ignore the panel. Maybe it's simply because of the change in service chiefs. But then again, you have the Army's legal team saying that it was disbanded in November, long before the president changed the service chiefs. 0700-993-993. What do you think about what we're hearing about the Army ending its involvement with the Lagos panel. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Call us on 0700-993-993. Hello, thanks for calling us.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Happy New Month. What's your name?
I'm going to talk.
Welcome, Ibuka.
Okay, these three items is shared, especially the second one. It baffles me because was this a secret? Are they talking about they are not in the corruption stuff the Indian guys gave us? I'm just laughing because everything they blame it on us. And yet they are the head of this corruption. Talking about nobody died and somebody died, power beyond us and back and forth. At the end of the day, we are now seeing what happened because you can't cover the eyewitness from all these things, right? You can't just, because I don't know this government, they would just want us to accept everything they give us. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand, yeah.
Because it seems as if they just want to shut us up. We shouldn't talk anything. If they do bad, we just hate them. If they do good, we just hate them. It's not making sense. Then COVID-19, the other day, talking about coronavirus, people blame them that themselves that is keeping the law, they are not keeping to it. They open borders, people come inside, do what you're supposed to do on time, you don't do it. But now, you are not enforcing things on them. Palliative came, you didn't give them palliative. It seems as if whenever they want to enforce something that will not benefit them, they will push it to the masses. Then what will benefit them, they will now push it for themselves. That's copy and paste they know how to do. It is well. I thought to say happy New Month and Sandra. Thank you.
Ebuka, thank you for calling. Lovelyn Ola Spinlet on Twitter says, Sandra, this shooting in Lekki Tollgate can never be derelicted in the eyes of youths and the good-hearted elderly ones. Nigeria Army won't accept their mistakes. We've got more messages on social media. We'll take a look at some of them pretty soon. Hello, thanks for calling.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Joseph. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Joseph, welcome. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm interested in the story about the Lekki shooting.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Now, the doctors said they saw pellets.
Yes.
In the bodies of the
victims, yes.
Gunshot victims they treated. Now, I'm concerned about the Army's claim of live rounds, which I know traditionally should be AK-47 bullets and pellets, because live rounds of automatic weapons hardly produce pellets.
Okay.
So it's an angle which I hope we may get some clarification of some kind from either maybe the Army or some other expert, because it will really help to let us understand what happened that night. Even some snippet of stories in the social media that some people, maybe some touts, were also at the scene with locally made pistols. Which bullets are, the sort that produce pellets. So I'm hoping maybe this new development would help to allow those who have the responsibility to pick up on what actually transpired that night. At least let Nigerians have the truth and lay the matter to rest. So come forward. They owe us that as citizens of this country.
Okay.
They owe us that duty to tell us the truth about what happened. It's not about not wanting to take responsibility. No. It's a different thing now, where at least the hospital has spoken of that, yes, they treated gunshot victims, but this is what they found. The Army cannot afford to keep silence in the face of the new information.
All right, Joseph, thank you very much for calling. We appreciate it. 99.3.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
Good afternoon. My name is Agwoma.
Welcome, Agwoma.
For the Army, is consistent with them lying on all every issues. And they see us is them and we. That's their perception about citizens. It is them and we. So they believe that if they come up with a truth, that it would have amounted to having been defeated by the citizenry. But that's so unfortunate. They actually, unknown to them, they are making a case for the International Court of Justice I understand that these people cannot actually prosecute them, the panel. But the International Court of Justice, if it gets to that, will require the reports of this panel, which will not go well for the Nigerian army and the leadership of the government. And so it is important for them to go there and make their case. It will be helpful for them. Being silenced because the Nigerians, they feel that we are bloody civilians, won't even help them when it gets to the Court of Justice. However, I wish that we continue sponsoring. I'm talking about financially equipping the panel, because last time we heard from them, they say they can no longer seek because they don't have funds. So that may also be another strategy by the government to make them functional. Talking about the nose masks, I will appeal to Nigerians. You don't have to rely on the government or what the officials or the executives do for your own health, for your own safety. Please let us be putting this. This is a disease we can overcome not by so much money, but just by compliance of the COVID protocols. And so let us work to the full eradication of this pandemic. I think we will overcome it.
Agoma, thank you very much for calling us. We've got messages on WhatsApp. Nkonye from Oba says, President Sandra, I guess this probe is on for record purposes. I hope journalist Rotimi from Idimu is still listening and following. There is God. Who's this journalist Rotimi that you all keep talking about? Sandra, leave them. Army cannot say the truth, and law of karma will catch up with them one day. Suraju Olubiyo is in Surulere. Good afternoon, Nigeria. Info Anonymous says, to be sincere, the staff of the BRT buses make it compulsory for all commuters in every zone to put on a mask before boarding the buses. But some of the commuters remove it thereafter and pocket it. When they are questioned thereafter, they want to fight about it. Some of them even feel like wearing a mask in the bus is like stressing them. People are just too difficult to adhere to the simplest things in life. People need to do better, but we want things to change in this country. A very good point there, Anonymous. Thank you for your message. Short and simple, a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. The truth is, we cannot see any positive outcome to this Lekki Tollgate shooting when it is obvious that the government, both federal and state, are indirectly involved in the carnage. There may be positive development to this issue only if there's a change in administration. We have heartless leaders in this country. This is a message from Samuel. Samuel is in Mafuluku. Thank you very much for your message, Samuel. Sandra, good afternoon. I don't want anybody... I don't know why nobody is talking about the policemen that came to the Lekki Tollgate after the Nigerian army left. The police shot as well. I'm an eyewitness, Sheyi says. Sheyi is on WhatsApp. Sheyi, thank you very much for your message. Let's talk to Frank in Surulere. Hello, Frank.
Hi.
Hi.
Sandra.
Good to have you on the show.
This is Sandra.
Yes, this is Sandra
Yeah,
now.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, very interestingly, the way things are playing out in the country is as funny and as revealing as it is surprising. I must confess, for the Nigerian army, especially coinciding with the swearing in of the new service chief, to pull out from the Lagos Judicial Panel stuff is is something that's going to backfire seriously, especially like the last caller mentioned, the International Criminal Court case is seriously receiving all the facts that they need for that case that's going to be building against them. Let me be honest. Even with the header farmer crisis, with the whole issue surrounding the Nigerian army, economy, just name it, just as it has been coming out in droves. The truth is that I still want to believe that there is no good chess player among the presidential team, the task force. If there's a very good chess player or somebody that actually thinks that can play their game with so much tact and skill. Naturally, we wouldn't have things like this just coming out in the open. Let me tell you the truth. The Nigerian army could have easily nipped all of this in the bud if they had just come out and admitted just a couple of hours or a day or two after that Lekki incident and said, okay, we are sorry, there were casualties. Nonetheless, we're going to take responsibility for this or this. Okay, just imagine if there was a friendly fire incident. Imagine United States or Britain having, their incursions or campaigns in Afghanistan or Iraq, and then they had friendly fire incidents where helicopters were shot down. Like U.S. Army shooting down a fellow U.S. Army helicopter, and they come out immediately and actually apologize. And then take responsibility. These things are things that show a whole lot of transparency in leadership and transparency in governance. And then your citizenry wouldn't have any reason to doubt any information coming from the coffers. Then, for crying out loud, you have a minister of information that has a leaking mouth for a basket. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to use that. But the truth is, I expected that the service chiefs, immediately after they had been changed, the Minister of Information should have ideally have been severed of his responsibility and his position, and then another person appointed. Why is it taking all of this time? Because what we need is transparency in leadership and in governance. Whatever you feed me from the presidency and whatever you're feeding me from that height of power, ordinarily, if it is drilling down to us, the citizenry, we should have that much confidence to say, yes, because my government has said this, man, I tend to believe and I can back it to whatever extent and say, yes, I think my government is responsible. But there's nothing I can believe anymore. The NIN registration issue, for crying out loud, you have some people you're trying to empower. And at the same time, during a COVID pandemic, where the whole world is telling you that there's going to be that COVID protocols need to be observed and all that, the same people in the presidency are at loggerheads with those that they have empowered with the responsibility to register the citizens, and they're coming out with this very information.
Frank, thank you very much for calling. Uzoma is in Ikoyi. Are you still there? Oh, no. Remember, we're still doing the 90 seconds thing. It's like a New Year resolution. You do the New Year resolution for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then you forget yourself. That's why Frank was talking there for almost 3 minutes. That's why everybody who has called today really has talked for almost 3 minutes. Chris from Amua says, Sandra, I hope you can see the people you're reporting hard facts for. Wear face mask, don't comply. Go out and vote, they don't go. Pay tax, government, they chop the money. How will we get better? Our problem is not leaders or politicians, the followers. The people are Nigeria's biggest problem. Chris from Amuwo, thank you for your message. Another message here. Sandra, my name is Obinna from Lekki. Please, I'm in a bus going to Ajah from Lekki just now, 3:11 p.m. Only 3 persons are wearing their mask. I even asked the driver and the conductor why they're not wearing masks. They laughed over it while few people smiled over the matter. Well, I'm glad that you're one of the people wearing your mask. We've got Ndubeze from Berger who says, Sandra, thank God we have a doctor coming out to say this. Okay, I think I've taken that message from Twitter. We've got another one here. Nigeria is a country that loves lies so much, and we live in self-denial a lot. People should be held to account for the shooting at Lekki Tollgate. However, I'm not confident about any action or punishment meted out to the perpetrators. Fasanyo Babatunde from Ota, Ogun State. Thank you for your message. We've got Toles Baba who says, every lie will become history. He's talking about the Lekki shooting there. We've got Charles from Okota who says, the Nigerian army should come down from its high horse and apologize to Nigerians and let the federal government pay compensation to the injured and families of the dead. There's no covering up Lekki massacre before God and man. If you just tuned in, you're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and we start every Monday taking a look at the biggest stories that broke over the weekend. And I told you that the Lagos State government is building another oxygen plant, and they donated 200 million naira to federal hospitals. And then I also told you that the presidency is pleading with Nigerians to obey the COVID lockdown, COVID guidelines, if we don't want to endure another lockdown. And then I told you that a surgeon at Reddington Hospital came forward to testify that they treated a lot of gunshot victims after the shootings at Lekki Tollgate and that the hospital was overwhelmed by the number of victims who came in to be treated. And then I told you that the army has been ignoring summons from the Lagos panel and that they've even dissolved their legal team. So those are the biggest stories from this weekend. Let's take a look at more messages from WhatsApp. Sandra, let the army, federal and state government keep fumbling. The truth shall prevail. Sandra, sincerely, we just need to obey the guidelines. But government inaction on enforcing COVID-19 laws across cities and villages of Nigeria empowered citizens not to comply. Ayodele Rotimi from Shasha says. Ayodele Rotimi, thank you for your message. I think we've got time to take one last call before a break coming up. But I don't know if I want to rush the person who will call off the phone. But let's see how it goes. Hello. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Thanks for calling.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You've got 1 minute.
Okay, my name is Yusuf. I'm calling from Lagos.
Welcome, Yusuf. Go ahead.
Okay, my concern about the face mask is that fact that the citizens themselves, they are not compliant in terms of ensuring that the COVID-19 thing is a thing, becomes a thing of the past. The government has legislated, as a matter of fact. It's also now up to the citizens themselves to observe the protocols. Government will not be everywhere to enforce the regulation.
Right.
The onus lies on us, the citizens.
Right.
We need to ensure and to keep it up by all means to ensure that the virus is not spreading anymore.
Right.
It's so bad and it's so unfortunate that the citizens themselves are not helping the matters here.
I agree with you. Thank you, Yusuf, for calling. Let's take that break, come back and wrap up today's big weekend with a few calls and messages from social media. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
It's a new day, a new beginning. As you prepare for the day ahead, just anything is not enough for a delightful, healthy start. Start your day right with Holland your evap. Taste creamy vitamins and nutrients. Life is so different with you. Holland your evap.
Hollandia Eva milk, right nutrients for a healthy breakfast.
Something big is about to happen to you on radio. I bet you never saw it coming. The dynamic duo joined together by not just radio, but everything in between.
It's more than just a radio experience. It's an experience of a lifetime. It's the feel of Lagos. From the mainland to the island. On your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Come, let's talk.
Tune in every weekday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's a whole brand new What's Up Lagos with the Techers. I am Collins.
I am Andrea. Check it.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's 4 minutes to 4 o'clock. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Happy new month to you and yours. Today is, of course, the 1st of February 2020. Let's talk Lagos. 0700-993-993-993. Are Nigerians prepared to follow the COVID-19 guidelines? Has Reddington Hospital contradicted the Army's testimony about the Lekki shootings? Will the Army return to the Lagos panel? It was a big weekend, Lagos. Let's talk about it. Awe is in Satellite Town. Awe, welcome to the show.
Okay, concerning the Lekki shooting, you see, they say two people can never be a victim of a lie.
Okay.
If you are telling someone a lie, and that person didn't know that you are telling him or her lies, you that is profiling or telling that lie knew exactly that you are telling lies. See, there is nothing much that can come out of that panel. The only thing is that we are going to commit this thing into the hand of God. God is going to judge. There is no amount of recommendation the panel can make and be carried out. So that is by the way. Then the issue of face masks. I believe we have a government. Why is our government, why is the president is invisible? You see, in some other countries, you see their president coming out on air, making a broadcast, showing a leadership by example. But where is our president? He's nowhere to be found. We cannot even hear from him. So at least if our government, or if the president can come on air, display an example of what he's expecting from the citizens, it could have been better. But at the same time, we keep on rolling out rules, laws that cannot fight the daylight. Now, if you even say, okay, people should wear a face mask and they are going to be penalized, is the naval officer, the law enforcement agent themselves, who is going to arrest them? Because some of them, when they even want to stop you, they don't put on their face mask.
Thank you very much for calling me away. We've got Moe, who's my last call on today's segment. How are you, Moe?
No, my name is Mofe, and I feel this show that I've won this lottery of answering, of being answered.
Okay, welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, really quick, I have a lot to say. Earlier in the program, I heard someone trying to compare the pellets that the surgeon found to what he felt the weapons he felt the military used.
Yeah.
I know from the footage that I saw of the shootings that night, they were most likely scatter rounds, like shotgun rounds, similar things like that. They might have been issued AK-47s and those kind of assault rifles.
Yeah.
The flares, the muzzle flares and all that look like shotguns. So it actually checks out according to what the surgeon says checks out.
I see.
To what was in the picture.
I see.
As compared, talking about the COVID, the government pleading with Nigerians on the COVID issue. I think that's a very good step in the right direction. Although, as with Nigeria, everything comes unnecessarily late. I mean, their first step was to make sure everybody it costs people to fight the COVID, which was ineffective.
Mofe, thank you very much for calling. We do appreciate that you called today and you got through. Let's bring you business news. After the business news, we'll bring you Checkpoint. I am Sandra Ezekwesili.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.